everyone, today in this video I'll explain how to make a great resume. Now today, to give a disclaimer, I'm only catering to students who are either just in college and applying for internships, or maybe graduating and applying for jobs, maybe, or applying for postgraduate applications to universities, be it in India or abroad. There's some things that we have to keep in mind, that a resume is nothing more than just a description of what we've done so far. Now imagine you are sending a resume to a person who has never met you. How will you make a very strong case about yourself? So I'll quickly share a few tips to understand that how a resume should be made and what all can be used. First of all, there's so many templates out there that you can choose from. You can use websites like Canva, Microsoft Word has a lot of templates provided. You can use either of them which you're comfortable with. Just make sure your resume is not very colorful. Just keep it to more subtle tones, black, gray, white. If you're looking at a bit more colorful, you can use a bit of light blue colors, something which doesn't stand out, The matter you're writing should be the key focus. The color shouldn't be. Like, you don't have to paint a rainbow out there. So starting in the order, if I'm looking at a student who is just coming to college, education is the only thing pretty much you've done. So focus on an academic setting over there. Talk about in detail about what you've done in your school journey. Write about a few clubs and activities, if you won any awards and honors. If you are a college student now already in the second or third year, write about the kind of activities you've done, competitions you participated in, the kind of certifications you've won, the sports you've played. These things become a major focus for a student right here. But if you're applying for a job later on, applying for a postgraduate course, you certainly must have done a few internships as well. So then the chronological order would be education, experience, voluntary work, whatever you've done, come in that order. But for a student, the focus should be academics. It's very obvious that you haven't worked in the industry so far and haven't been a professional yet because you were studying so far. So writing work experience right at the top and leaving it blank doesn't make sense. Even if you have 3-4 internships, that shouldn't be the priority for you. That should always come later for a student. Work experience should come later for you just because you are a student right now. Education should be the primary focus. So whenever you are preparing a resume, just ensure that education details are precise to the point and it's accurate. So even if you feel that, okay, this activity wasn't relevant, I did a research paper in school, it wasn't relevant, trust me, it is relevant. So try and focus on each and everything you did in school, your college, everything about your academics should stand out. Moving on, if you're talking about voluntary work, leadership roles, they are very important. Now, those can be mentioned after work experience or any point in time in the resume or even at the end. How do you put it across? You can mention that you were captain of a soccer team or head of a club, head of a society, school captain, school prefect, whatever you think about, they are all relevant. Voluntary work, if you're writing that you worked with the NGO, don't like it that. Just write you did voluntary work for these many hours, contributed to this NGO these many hours, you worked with them for these many hours, make it quantifiable. Even if you donated the amount of money, I wouldn't say it's wise to write the amount, rather say significant donation was made and how you helped. More than the monetary donation, they see that have you gone out of the comfort zone and made the effort to help others. So these things are all very relevant to put in a resume. Now quickly talking about how to make it presentable. Now a standard size of a resume for a student should be one side at the most. Trust me, nobody's gonna have the time to see it more than one side. If you have extensive research, for example, a medical student, a law student might have done extensive research, they might go on to 1.5 pages, but that's it. Try and keep it to one page, at the one side of the page, that's it. Don't leave a lot of white spaces if you're making it on a plain paper and not using a format, you're making it on your own, that's okay, then I'm fine with that. Make it neat, keep the format standard, don't use different fonts, don't use funny fonts, keep it Times New Roman or any basic font which is standardized and used and accepted everywhere. Keep the font size to 10, 11 or 12 depending on how much you have to write, but don't leave white spaces. They don't want you spreading it out in the data. It should be of course legible and clear, but don't leave those many white spaces because then it shows you don't have nothing to write. That also doesn't mean, let me clarify, that you write anything you want to. So make it presentable, make it concise, and write each and everything that's relevant to you. On the top, you write your name, your email address, your contact details, maybe your address. Try and cover this in one line at the most, your name at top and everything else below this. So that's it, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't really want you to write about anything which is not necessary and which doesn't deserve to be there. For example, if you're applying to a course in management or something, try and keep things relevant and leading on towards that. Try and put across those activities which are more relevant. This happens when a person has so much to write and they have done a lot, but they don't know how to shortlist the most relevant things. Then you think about what will help you getting an admission or getting a job for whatever you're looking forward to. So this is the way it should be taken care of. Another very interesting thing is, after your name, before you start writing about your education, write a 2-line summary about yourself. That, okay, you can write you're a confident student or professional, that you're very ambitious or something. That's okay. Something optimistic about you that you believe in, but not more than a line or two. That's it. Try and keep your resume crisp. See the formatting when you're doing it. Be very particular about it. No grammatical errors, please. Make sure run it on Grammarly or any grammar website. Please make sure there's no grammatical error. You have to be that precise. That's it for now from my side. If you have any particular questions about how to make a resume and how to review that, you can always reach out to us at hello@mindler.com.